This is Shine Valentine back today again, new episode. In today's episode, I want to ask the people that went to see the movie Us. Did you enjoy it? Did you like it? What was your opinion about it? I want you to comment below because I want to give you my opinion about it. And so you all have already seen it that's responding to this or that's listening to this video, and the people that are going to comment, I'm assuming you all already seen it because this video is for people who already seen it. I don't want to spoil it for people who have not. So I'm going to title this video something like, for the people who've seen the movie Us, what do you think about it? What was your opinion of it? So my opinion of it, I did not really like it. It was too abstract. I like brain teasers. I like things to challenge me mentally. And so what I thought was going to happen with the movie, with some movies and with this movie, what I thought was going to happen was that, how in the beginning, in the middle of the movie, sometimes you don't understand what's going on. You don't understand what's going on. But by the end of the movie, it all comes together. You understand what happened, why this happened. Now it's pieced together. Now you can leave the theater with a smile on your face because you figured it out and it explained it all to you. It had you on the edge of your seat. With this movie, now I'm gonna tell you the good things I liked about it. But before I get into that, I like Get Out better than this movie. I don't know if you all saw Get Out, but I loved Get Out. I remember when I was watching TV one day and when Get Out, right before it came out, the trailer came out, and they were showing the trailer on TV, and I knew it was going to be a good movie. Whenever I would see that trailer, it was something I just knew it was going to be a good movie. So I really love that movie. Now this one, to me, it was too abstract, and some people might like that, but this is the problem I had was that at the end of the movie, for me, I still couldn't, it just still didn't come together. And then I had to actually go on YouTube and look up explanations of the movie. Now y'all, I'm sorry, when you have to look up explanations of a movie after you've seen it, that is a problem. At the end, it should tie up all loose ends. So maybe the beginning and the middle of the movie is confusing, but by the end, all the loose ends should be tied up. Okay, it should be tied up. And I don't feel like it was. I think a lot of things were not mentioned. Now, I'm going to tell you things that stood out to me. Before I get into that, the little girl that played Lupita, in the beginning of the movie, Lupita, it showed her as a little girl at I think it was a carnival. She was there with her mom and dad. That little girl was so cute to me. I thought to myself, I wish she was my daughter. If I had a daughter, I would want her to look like her. Like, she was so cute, the two little pigtails, and she was walking around with her candy apple, and she just looked so innocent, and like she didn't know what was going on, and she's beautiful chocolate skin and her little pigtails. I just thought that little girl was really cute. I don't know. It's just like, I'm like, I wish she was my daughter. Like, that's what I don't know. She just seemed, I don't know, she was really cute. And so that stood out, obviously. I like that, and some people might not like what I'm about to say, but I mean, you shouldn't have a problem with what I'm about to say, but I like that Lupita and Winston Duke, which was her husband, and the movie, and the two kids were dark skinned. I like that all four of them were dark skinned. I'm gonna say it. And for anybody that has anything to say, I'm like caramel skin, so I'm not saying it because I'm considered dark skinned. I just like that they all were dark skinned. Okay, I'm just going to say it. And I'm going to tell you why. Because it seems like when they have a leading black guy, a lot of times he's dark skinned, and then his leading lady is light skinned or biracial or something. Do you all remember the TV series Underground? Does that make sense what I'm saying? Or even with Martin. Remember Martin and Gina and Martin? They always would have like the leading woman. Not every single time, but I have noticed that they will have sometimes the leading woman lighter skin and then the leading guy dark skin. So it just felt good to see a all chocolate black family, and I'm not going to apologize for feeling like that. Okay, it was they don't show it that much, so. And so that alone made them look so beautiful. I also want to say Lupita is gorgeous. Like, she's so pretty. The thing is, I think Lupita looks better either with really short hair or like long hair. And they had her with medium length hair that came maybe to her chin. And I just don't think in the braids, they were kind of thin. Or was those dreads or braids? I don't know. Anyway, they look like sister locks almost, or just really thin braids. I don't think it really brought her out. I don't think that was the ideal hairstyle for her. The ideal hairstyle for her, I think, is either when she have a really low haircut, or she has the long braids, maybe long thick braids or long dreads. But long hair and short hair looks good on her. Medium length hair, like chin length hair, to me, I don't fit. It doesn't look right on her, and maybe it's because of the style. So I don't like, I feel sometimes they dumb down black women's looks in these movies. That's just my opinion. It's like they dumb down their looks. Winston Duke, he was funny and goofy in the movie, but at the end of the movie, okay, so some things that I noticed. Do you all remember when they were at the beach, Lupita? I don't even remember their names in the movie, because the whole movie to me was too slow to me. The pace was too slow. The scene when Lupita, I'm just gonna call her Lupita, I'm not gonna go by her real name in the movie, because the movie, I was disappointed in it, so I don't remember their names in the movie. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna say Lupita and Winston Duke. Winston Duke was her husband in the movie. Okay, so do you all remember when Winston and Lupita and the two kids, she had a little son and a daughter, they went to the beach to meet her with his friend. I think that was his friend. It was a white guy, a white lady, and their two twin daughters. Now, do you remember, obviously they were on vacation. They showed Lupita and Winston's vacation home. Did you all notice how the white couple's vacation home looked so much better? It was beautiful. It was gorgeous. And I just noticed it right away. And I think someone said that the white guy had a better boat than Winston too, than Lupita and Winston's family. So I noticed that, and I remember saying this to my boyfriend after we saw the movie. I said, did you notice that the white couple had a better vacation home than a black couple? And he was just like, he didn't care. And I understand he didn't care about that part of the movie, but for me, it stood out. They don't put things in a movie for no reason. That stood out, that the white couple had a better vacation home. And I know you might say that's being petty. I'm sorry. That stood out to me, that they had a better vacation home than the black couple. And I thought to myself, why did they do that? Because these two guys are supposed to be friends, so wouldn't they be on the same? Now, I know that friends don't always be on the same financial level. I know that. But since they had this black guy befriending this white guy, why would they not both be on the same financial level? How did they meet? How did they become friends? Did they meet at work? Or, but so why is one friend living a basic, not living, but staying in a basic vacation home, and then the other one has this great vacation home? So that stood out to me. Also, so the movie, basically the tethered was the clones, and they were living underground. Now, in the beginning of the movie, you all remember, I think, don't quote me verbatim, but it said that allegedly in the U.S. there's tons of underground tunnels, and I think it said, not underground trains, but it definitely said in the beginning of the movie, it's a lot of underground tunnels. So it was basically referring to that's where the clones are at, or it's people underground. And basically at the end, Lupita's character, she, as we all know, she was a little girl. She was in the beginning of the movie, she was at a carnival with her parents, and she walked off. Her father was playing a game. The mother went to the ladies' room, and then she kind of wandered off. She walked down off of the boardwalk, and she walked onto the beach, and it was this building. I think it was supposed to be a haunted house, or supposed to be, yeah, I think it was like a haunted house or something like that. And I think it said "Find Yourself" or something like that. She went in there and she ran into her clone, and the clone choked her out. And the clone choked her out and drug her down these steps in the elevator, escalator, and then put handcuffs on her and handcuffed her to the bed. And then her father, from what I can remember, put her on a shirt for her, I think, at the carnival. Y'all, this has been a couple days since I've seen this movie. And the clone took the shirt off of the little Lupita, the real Lupita, and put it on her. The clone put it on herself, and then she walked up. Then she left her chain. She left her handcuffed to the bed, and then the clone went upstairs and then replaced Lupita. Okay, so the clones could not. The clones were called the tethered, and they could not speak. So when the clone traded places with the real Lupita, so I'm gonna start calling the clone the tethered. Okay, the clones are the tethered. So the tethered, when the real Lupita ran into her tethered, the tethered choked her out, handcuffed her to the bed, and then the tethered left her down there in the underground base, whatever you want to call it, and walked upstairs and went up the escalator, and then she replaced her with the family on the surface. So all during the movie, we thought that Lupita was the real human, and all along she was the damn tethered. Okay, so the real Lupita was down there in the underground base with the other tethers, but she was the only one that could speak, because the tethers are clones, and for some reason they can't speak. And also, from what I understood in the movie, they ate raw rabbits, because in the beginning of the movie you notice there was a lot of white rabbits in cages, and so I guess they would eat rabbits for dinner. And so the movie never explained why were they forced to eat raw rabbits. Were the rabbits clones too? Like, the movie just, I think it could have. Some people think the movie is great. Part of me would want to see the movie again and try to understand it. Then part of me is just like annoyed. So I don't know. But when y'all seen the movie anyway. So we found at the end of the movie that the tethered Lupita that we knew, that was not the real Lupita. That was the tethered. Okay, and she had choked out the real Lupita and left her in the underground. So the real Lupita took over and made up this plan for the tethered to come to find their real clone. Not their clone. The tethers are the clone. They got cloned from the real person. So they plotted to go from underground and kill the real people that they were cloned from and replace them. That's what I got from it. But the interesting part, if you all notice, that most of the real people end up dying in that movie, because remember, the tethers came from underground and they started murdering the real counterparts, however you want to say it, the people they want to replace. And so throughout the movie, when the tethers, because all the tethers had on, the red jumpsuits and carrying scissors and all that, like, what did the scissors mean? Okay, so you just seen people murdered all around. Okay, so as Lupita and her family are driving, trying to get away from these tethers, you just see the real humans, however you want to say it, laid out murdered. And the tethers, they started holding hands and making a circle, I guess, around the planet. And allegedly, when I was researching, this was something that some people in real life did, holding hands and making a circle. And I'm just like, but what does it have to do with I don't get why that was thrown in the movie, them holding hands and making a circle. And once you all explain this to me, if you can explain it, that's going to be fine. But I still did not like the movie. So I'm just telling you, I did not really like it. It just was too, at the end, I wanted him to tie up all loose ends. Okay. So in the end, it seems like more of the real humans died, because Lupita, as we know, was the tethered the whole time. She was the tethered, so she lived. Her husband did, her daughter. I think her husband and daughter were real humans, but I think her son, wasn't he a tethered too? Okay, her son was a tethered, because then I noticed because you all know in the movie when the tethers came to confront Lupita and her family. How can I say this? The tethers that came to confront her and her family, Lupita was the tethered, and the girl that was confronting her was the real Lupita. So the woman that we thought was the real Lupita the whole time was actually the tethered, and the one we thought was the tethered was the actual real Lupita. But the real Lupita husband, the one that was Winston Duke's clone, which was the tethered. Oh my God, y'all. This is what I'm talking about. This movie, he was a tethered. The daughter was a tethered. But then the son, Anyway, let me anyway, y'all. You see what I'm talking about? Just the whole thing. So anyway, let me scratch that. Let's just go back to Lupita. Okay. Lupita was the clone the whole time. She was a tethered. Her husband was supposed to be a real human. Her daughter was a real human. I think her son might have been a tethered, because they mentioned something about, I think the year before, a house burned down or the son getting burnt. And when he was confronted by his tethered, quote unquote, that tethered, the little boy's mouth was burnt closed. So I'm wondering if he was the tethered, y'all. I don't know. As you all know, towards the end of the movie, Lupita started to fight with who we thought was the tethered, but kind of find out the Lupita that we thought, the Lupita that we knew, was really the tethered, and then the real Lupita was fighting at the end. And so it makes sense too, because the part that made sense was when, remember when little Lupita ran into her tethered in that haunted house, whatever the hell it was, when the tethered choked out the real Lupita and she handcuffed the real Lupita to the bed, and she went up the stairs and up the escalator and replaced her. Remember the family, because she started to, I think she became a ballerina, I think. Both of them did. The tethered did, and the real Lupita. Both. One was underground dancing and the other one was on the surface dancing. Okay, so when they took the tethered, the real parents took the tethered to the therapist, they said, we just want our daughter back, and they said she wouldn't talk. So we thought that she was traumatized from seeing her clone, her tethered, and that she, became crazy. But no, that's not what happened. That wasn't the real Lupita. That was the tethered, and the tethered could not speak, because remember, everybody, the tethers couldn't speak. They had a weird sound, a way to talk to each other, like they would grunt, but they could not speak. So Lupita, since she got switched out, and she was the only one of she was a real human, and she was down there with the tethers, which were the clones, and none of them could speak but her. So she became, I guess, their leader, and she organized them taking over the surface. In addition, did you all notice that the tethered, no, excuse me, let me take that back. Did you all notice the real Lupita, the real human, which was who we thought was the tethered the whole time, but it wasn't? Remember, she had a weird voice when she confronted Lupita, who actually was the clone. Y'all, just see, y'all, even explaining this is difficult, okay? Because, but anyway, y'all notice her voice was messed up. That's because when the tethered, the clone, choked out the real Lupita, it gave the real Lupita, she messed up her vocal cords, I think. That's what I'm thinking. And it made her have a messed up voice, because she choked her out. The tethered choked out the real Lupita. Okay, and yeah, I know that her name in the movie was not Lupita, but y'all, I don't remember their real names in the movie, because I was disappointed in the movie. But I still think the movie was brilliant. It was brilliant in a lot of ways. But it just, like, who made the clones? Did they explain who made the clones? The tethered? Why were they called the tethers? Why was they eating, from my understanding, raw rabbits? What? And then why was Winston Duke so sorry in that movie? And then Chrissy, she did a really good review of this movie, Chrissy on YouTube. It was a painting on the wall, and I noticed it too, where it was of a black woman, a black young girl, her daughter, and they both had their natural hair, which was beautiful, and they had a cape. The black woman, both of them had a cape on, actual cape, and they had their arms not folded, but they had their arms like making a muscle, as if they were powerful and they were gonna go save someone. So almost trying to make black women once again seem like they are heroes and tough and strong. And look, we are dainty and ladylike. What are they talking about? So that movie, it was interesting. I'm gonna tell you some funny parts, right? The funny part to me was when, okay, so you all know the white couple that was friends with them. So the white couple, the white woman. Remember, it wasn't funny when she got murdered. That was really sad. I don't like violence. So remember when the white woman's tethered, after she killed her or whatever, the white woman's tethered was in the going through this woman's stuff, going through her drawers or whatever, and I think she went through her drawers or whatever, but she started putting on the woman's like pink lipstick, and she was smiling at herself in the mirror, and people started laughing at the theater. It was so funny. She was just smiling at herself in the mirror. She thought she looked so fly. And then it was a scene where, from what I can remember, when Winston Duke was fighting his white male friends tethered. So he didn't end up fighting his white friend. He ended up fighting his white friends tethered. Okay, and they got the fighting, and I think on the boat, because Winston Duke had rented or bought a basic cheap boat, little boat, I guess, to compete with the white dude. I don't know. And so I think they got the fighting either on his boat or the white man's, or his white male best friend's boat. So the white woman's tethered was looking out the window after she was playing this woman's makeup box that she had just murdered her, she murdered the real white woman, and then she was the clone of the real white woman. So then after she was playing in the makeup box to put on lipstick, she looked out the window and she could hear them fighting on the boat. And I think she could kind of see them. And at first she was looking out the window. She was crying. She was looking sad, like, looking really sad. Then I think she started fake crying. Then she started smiling and laughing. Y'all, that woman was not in many scenes, but she was funny to me. Her tethered was funny. Now, the other person that I think all of them were great at acting. The little boy was great. Winston Duke was great. Lupita was awesome. And the girl who played Lupita's daughter, she is a good actress. A young, great actress. I really liked her. I liked her as how she was, the real her, and also liked her tether. Her tether kept, like, how she kept smiling at her. Did you all notice how the tethers kept smiling at them? But in particular, Lupita's daughter's tether was chasing her. So the girl's tether was chasing her, and that girl's tethered, her clone, how she was looking at her and smiling. It was just so funny to me. And she just kept looking at her. Like, can you imagine someone who's your clone following you and smiling at you, knowing they're trying to murder you? Can you only imagine that? My next question that I have for this movie: why are they cloning people? Why were these people being cloned? They never explained why were they. What was the purpose of them being cloned? Why are they being cloned? And also, if these people are being cloned from the people on the surface, how are they getting the people on the surface DNA to clone them? Because they made it seem as if the people on the surface, like you and I, did not know that they had clones underneath. Oh my God, let me say this again. This movie got me. I just can't. The people on the surface, like you and I, did not know, obviously, that they had clones underground, right? So how did they get these people's DNA to make these clones, right? How did they? And then also, why were the clones being made? Why are they making them eat rabbits? Most importantly, why are they making clones of people on the surface? Okay, so that's all I gotta say about this movie. I didn't really like it, but I think it's a brilliant movie, and I just want to know, what did you all think about it, and what was your interpretation of it? Do you think the little boy, he was a tethered, and that some kind of way I don't know, the movie was confusing. It was great, but then it was confusing. And I also want to say that one scene when Lupita, who we thought was a real Lupita, but who was actually the tethered, went down the boardwalk back on a beach and went into that what was it, a haunted house, and she had that crowbar. And because remember when her son got snatched by the real Lupita, and as if she knew where he was at, so that should let us know right there that she was the tethered. But because did you all know she knew exactly where to go to find her son? If she didn't know where these beings came from, how would she know where to go? So she went down there. Remember the scene, like I said, when she went to the haunted house with the crowbar, and she went looking for her son. And that scene annoyed me because it took so long for her to get to the bottom. Did you notice that she had to go down, turn 100 times, go down 100 flights of stairs, go down an escalator, and then every time she would turn a corner, I'm like, okay, who's gonna be there? Where is she going? Where is this gonna lead to? And it just went on and on and on and on, and it just kept going on and on and on, and it just really annoyed me. But yeah, so that's just what I got. That's what I think about the movie. What is your opinion of the movie?